Roll call, please.
Weber. Here. Kimball. Tuesday.
Here.
Tony. Here. Cargill.
Here.
Stickles. Here. Wheeler.
Here. Approval of the agenda, the additions, deletions, and modification, and this is regarding the hearing.
There's no changes.
Can I have a motion to approve the agenda then?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Tony. Weber.
Yes.
Stickles.
Yes.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Cargill.
Yes.
Kimball. Wheeler.
Yes.
The purpose of hearing tonight is considering and taking testimony from the community on contracting with a third party to provide and perform food services for the entire school district, including the elementary students, middle school students, and the high school students.
Are there comments from the board at this time?
How much do we stand to save?
That is unknown at this point because I have not received any bids back from any of the contractors. We've had a pre-bid meeting and we have not received the bids back yet.
Well, can you give us like an estimate? I think everything's not before.
I don't feel comfortable giving an estimate at this time until I receive those bids.
Okay.
Not knowing the outcome, where we're going to be, how many buildings we're having this built, or looked at both ways, 2 buildings and 3 buildings.
That's correct.
And the, is this a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year contract we're looking at, or what?
I believe it's a 5-year contract, renewable every year.
Okay, so if the referendum is successful, it will be 2 buildings and then eventually going into 3 in 2017. That would be the way we write it up, 2 years and 2 buildings.
No, you can renew the contract or you can get out of the contract on a yearly basis. And what I would recommend, if you're looking at construction of a new building, I would accept the bid based on 2 attendance centers, and then after the third one is constructed and you go to 3 attendance centers, then I would rebid the contract, if this is approved.
What is the deadline for bid submission?
Let me see. I don't have that off the top of my head.
Do you have an estimate, a month, 2 months, few weeks?
Bids must be received no later than 2 p.m. on Wednesday, February 24th, 2016. At which time they will be open and read aloud. Bids received after this time will be rejected and will be returned unopened.
Anything else?
In regards to our staff, what happens with our current staff?
I'm glad you asked that. Let me read the part of the bid specs that deals with staff. The contractor shall maintain the same minimum level of employee positions, hours, wages, and benefits as stipulated on Exhibit G throughout the entire contract term and each subsequent contract term as applicable, unless a reduction in the required levels is authorized by the school district. The school district shall provide the contractor with written notice of any increases in employee positions, hours, wages, and benefits. And that's stipulated in school code. It's required. We also have the employees have the right to first refusal, which means we are required by law to offer them jobs. Currently, under the bid specs, is the minimum level of positions, hours, wages, and benefits in the bid specs, includes everything they have now except for IMRF.
Okay, and I believe it's the board's intention not to, or to recommend that employees be hired. Right?
I'm sorry?
There are employees right now recommend that they be hired.
Yes, that's correct.
Is there anything else? Are we ready for public testimony?
Yes.
All right, Cheryl Wood.
I have addressed your issue of your minutes previously. I have gone back through your entire year of minutes. You discussed this issue one time in June, discussion only. Yet tonight you have a public hearing on this issue. There was no discussion at the last meeting. Superintendent tried to present that. The board told him no because it had not been placed on the agenda. We are not being given facts ahead of you making decisions, such as how many eat in the hot lunch program? How many free or reduced lunches do you provide? What is the total cost of the program? What is the cost for outsourcing? And what is the difference? These are all issues that affect taxpayers' dollars and decisions you make. You are not providing the public with the information ahead of the decisions. Thank you.
Denise Smith.
Thank you for letting us speak tonight. My only concern when I heard about this last spring was that I just feel that I think you should have called like us cooks to come in. If you're thinking about saving money, there are so many areas that I feel, and I'm sure the other cooks do too, where we could save money. And if you look on the papers that I gave you guys, these are all of our a la carte sales from August through January. And on the salad bar, for one, it shows especially for the junior high, it shows that they sold 1,000 some salads. But if you ask Brenda, about 90% of those salads are sunflower seeds and bacon bits. We throw so much product away every week that it's just losing money. And I just wish that you would have taken the time to maybe come to us and say, you know, where do you think we could save some money in the kitchen area? And we could have given you guys quite a bit of information I think would help. When I read the numbers on what it costs to feed our kids, I can't think of what the number was, but you said that we are higher than areas. I talked to Rolf about this, that the high school, if you took the high school numbers, what I spend on the food in the high school is not just food for serving. Last year I bought for the home ec teachers. I bought for the magical dinners. I bought food for chili suppers. I bought, there was a lot of other things that I spent money on buying for other people. And if you just took my records and figured out how much it costs per child to feed them, that's going to be wrong because you have all that extra stuff in there. And I just feel would have been involved in it. I wish, you know, if you were thinking on trying to save money, I would love to have sat down and try to help you guys out on where we could save money. And that's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Diane Wonder.
Okay, I just have a few questions. How does this affect our free and reduced kids? Are they still going to be able to keep that program for the children when you outsource it? You have a lot of teachers that eat for nothing. I mean, they do a duty, a cafeteria duty or whatever, so they eat for nothing. Is that going to affect them when they go into it? I heard you had to have a nutritionist on staff, and that's going to be part of the thing. Did you look at, you just hired a nutritionist, maybe like, if it's going to be some kind of a ruling thing that the National School Lunch Program's doing or something? Did you look into maybe like Henry, Washburn, all of you guys using the same nutritionist or something? Right now, we have to have a background check on everybody that enters the building on subs. They have to have a TB test, they have to have fingerprinting, and all this stuff goes into effect. Well, and we got a certified letter the other day stating that what you guys said about us keeping our jobs was not true, because in that certified letter, it said that we would be terminated. That we could lose, all of us would lose our jobs. And then there's things I do for the teachers, like parent-teacher conferences. I make suits for the teachers at night, so that the ones that live out of town would not have to go home to eat or go someplace. There's a lot of questions I emailed Dixie Wheeler, I emailed them to Marilyn and Rolf, and there was a lot of questions in there that you guys need to take it and, you know, look at them before you decide on anything. Thank you.
Brenda Newell.
Hello, thank you for listening to us. As you can see, there's 7 of the 9 cooks in-house tonight. We all feel very, I don't know if you want to say disgusted or upset that you guys have gone behind our backs and not talked to us. We've been here for over 21 years, some of us. We may lose part of our IMRF, we may lose our insurance, we may lose our jobs that we look forward to having till retirement. And I think this is sadly being just overlooked. You've got 3 head cooks that, I don't know, we've been here I've been here 21, Mimi's been here 21, Diane's been here 14, Denise has been here 10 or more, Kathy had. I mean, you've got people here with many years. So, if you bring in this outsourcing, you're looking at possibly losing many years of experience. I realize that food isn't as good as it used to be. And I feel that is the state's fault. I feel that's the National Food Board's fault. They want all these things done because we're making the children fat. And that is not true. So I do not feel that outsourcing is going to make any difference other than you may be saving a little bit. I don't see how, because the kitchen has been cut, I would say, over the last 10, 15 years, multiple times over. Losing cooks, cutting the cook-off, food bids, everything we've had to try to keep the money down on. And it's just, you know, gotten to the point where we can't do much more. And I know there's other places that can be cut, I think, a lot of places that are spending a lot more money than food industry. Kids have to have their food, that's all there is to it. You're gonna have to have some kind of lunch program, I agree. But look at it, I'm not sure how many bids, like you said, one bid, you were looking for 5 bids, and I'm afraid you're just going to outsource it to one company because they're giving you a bid, and that's the only one we have. And my understanding is that some of this food that these outsourcing companies bring in is not up to par. I'm not really sure what this company is looking at has, if it's single trade, if it's bulk food. It makes a difference too how you bring it in and how it's served and so forth. So that's another important issue. I have 185 days approved on my IRF. I need probably 15, 20 more to continue a year of my retirement on my IRF. I'll probably lose some of that if you guys cut us off in May. I appreciate listening to us, and I hope you take this into consideration. Nothing, Bob.
They were looking at me kind of afraid, like, oh, she's talking again. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. I strongly think that outsourcing these jobs is not to the best of the community. It's not to the best of the kids. I've been kind of switched around over here in Sparkman, and maybe because I'm a new set of eyes, I see some things where beyond what she's already stated, you might be able to make some adjustments and still save some money. But I've never heard what kind of dollar line you are looking at on the bottom budget to compare, to make that adjustment to. A couple meetings ago, we were talking that our lunch rates were low compared to the state, federal, and we were going to have to increase our lunches to $2.70. So we're being hampered by regulatory bodies that we have no control over. I think when you do the competitive bid sheet, you are forced to come off of that bid sheet, and they have control. They decide if they want to send you something or not. There's no consequences to those. Then we're out running around trying to find something to make that meal. So I don't think the forced bid sheet on buying supplies is the competitive bidding that you think it is. There seem to be other things that the regulations that are imposed on us by the government, by the food sanitation, they are part of the problem. They make you overcook things in such huge quantities. I understand that the middle school and the high school has been directed to not do head count. Grade school still does. If you do a head count, you've got a better chance of controlling your bottom line budget without wasting money. There's little simple things that we are being directed to do that are not what is best for our budget. And that's not the cook's fault. It's not ours. We've been told to do that. I think the whole thing needs to be sit down with everybody, discuss it, instead of just coming at it with one bid. These are people who work in the community. They put their life into this job, and it's not just their job. It's their families. It's their insurance. How much difference are we talking between outsourcing bid and what you have right now? And I'm sure if you sit and talk with all of them and get us all in the same room, you'll find better ways to control that cost. But we're not hearing it. We're just being led. I think we're being led to slaughter. I thank you. Consider strongly on keeping us, and I appreciate it.
Thank you all for speaking. All right, this public hearing is now closed. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion to adjourn.
Second?
Are we not going to discuss it at all? We're not discussing it at all.
Public hearing.
There's a second to close the meeting? Roll call.
Parker,
Yes.
Weber. Yes. Mizek,
Yes.
Campbell. Steckel. Yes. Tanya.
Yes.
Wheeler.
Yes. Okay, this part of the meeting is